So there's nothing I want more than to finish in the top 10% of one of my upcoming tournaments. To do so would get you invited to the Classic, which is for the KFNW, the Pacific Northwest region of bass fishing, kayak bass fishing tournaments. That's like, you kicked butt, you did it. You freaking made it, you're a champion. You made it to the grand finals. It's the Super Bowl for my area, I guess. I don't know. There's nothing I want more than to get invited to that. In order to do so, you have to finish in the top 10%. In my last 2 tournaments, I did okay. I did fine. My first tournament, I kind of played it too safe. You know, I threw all my biggest confidence lures, and I caught a bunch of little bass. And on the second tournament that I did, I went all in on throwing a big giant swim bait, and I kind of came up empty-handed. I only caught a couple little dinky fish near the end by like frantically switching back to throwing like a tube. So on this next tournament, I'm hoping that I can find a better balance between the two and kick some butt, because it's going to be at Dwarshak in Idaho, which is like pretty well known for being one of the best smallmouth fisheries in the country. I think the biggest recent fish that was caught was like a 23.5. It was just shy of 10 pounds, which is insane for a smallie. That's a giant. So today we're out practicing. We're gonna do a practice tournament today. We're fishing for some smallmouth. I don't care if we catch a largemouth, that's fine. It'll count towards our goal. But we're gonna see what we can do and catch our biggest top 5. We're gonna be throwing some confidence lures today, just to kind of make sure that we get some more practice with them, because I've been spending a lot of time throwing swim baits, so we need to spend some time throwing those confidence baits, those old school confidence baits. Make sure we can just get on some numbers. So we'll do that. Then also we have some new lures that we're gonna be throwing, as well as a few lures that I threw during the last tournament that I didn't catch anything on. We're gonna try again today, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna get to it. All right, so here we go. About to begin fishing. As I mentioned, we're gonna try out some new stuff today, but our main goal is just to see how well we can do. I wanna catch 5 of the biggest bass that I possibly can today, and I would like to do it using some old techniques that I'm confident in, just to kind of reestablish those a little bit. And then I got a bunch of new stuff we're gonna try. I'm super excited to try. Some of the stuff is it's gonna be totally crazy. Some stuff I've been wanting to try for a long time. Some stuff I have tried and haven't had any success with yet, but I think today could be the day. But I can't help it, we gotta start with this swim bait. This is my nice little shine glider. He's what an incredible lure this thing is. I've caught a lot of bass with this lure. I think it's always fun to start with a swim bait in the beginning of the day, see if you can get on a big fish right away. Always checking for followers. I'm a really big fan of this bait because it just reminds me of like throwing like a spinner bait. It's just a big flashy bait, covers water pretty well. So Dwarshak is a kokanee lake. That's like a type of landlocked tiny little silver salmon. Because of the kokanee, smallmouth are able to get really big. They hunt down those giant schools of kokanee and they become bite-sized for them. And it gives an opportunity for smallmouth to get really, really big. Just an infinite supply of giant schools of bite-sized food that the smallmouth are amazing at catching. So this lake is a kokanee lake, and so is Dwarshak. And that's kind of how and why both of these lakes have these giant smallmouth. Earlier this year, kind of like late winter, early spring, we were coming out here and catching some of the fattest smallmouth ever, like 5-pound, 18-inch smallies. Like they were footballs. They were the strangest looking thing, but it's really cool, really neat. And that's kind of why we're here today. And this lure kind of resembles like a fat kokanee almost. So I could see a smallmouth going for this, but it's going to require a big smallmouth because it's a big swim bait. I love it out here. I just had a feeling that today would be a nice kind of yucky day. I'd be the only one out in the water, and that's the case. There ain't nobody out here. All the spots I'm currently fishing were very productive times and spots when I was out here, I don't know, a few months back. It's been a while since I've been out here. All right, that's all we wanted to do for the swim bait. We went and threw it along the shallows. That's kind of its main thing, was to see if there's any big ones up shallow still feeding. But I think we're able to rule that out pretty quick. What am I most excited to do? You know what we should do? We should just go straight to a tube. Let's see, let's kind of go over some of the stuff we just fished with a tube, just because this is the smallmouth lure. All right, we're gonna head out to some slightly deeper water. Don't want to be too impatient, but I kind of just doesn't feel like there's anything going on over there. So let's try this. Had a bite. Had a bite. Slowly pulling a tube in 20 feet of water. Could have been a perch. Felt like I had a good little nibble to it though. A good sign though, but I did think that it would be fun to just get a few bass in the boat on the tube before we go trying anything else really. Okay, we throw in the tube. We had a little nibble at like 20 feet. This I feel like is a great opportunity to try a lure that I haven't caught anything with yet. But for the last tournament, there was a really cool tackle shop called Three Rivers Tackle. There's all sorts of neat stuff that I did my best not to buy, but I couldn't help but get myself a Megabass Vision 110. The greatest, supposedly, jerkbait in the world. And this particular one is the 110 plus 2, so it can go down a little deeper. So we can get it down deeper. It's got a little flash to it. It's got a good kokanee look to it. I think this could be, I guess I should have showed you. Did I show you? Here. Check this out. Look at that. That thing's sick. The 110 plus 2. If you know anything about Megabass, this stuff is ridiculously pricey. Is this thing necessarily better than some other brand of jerkbait? Yes, it is. Everyone seems to agree that most Megabass stuff is worth its weight in gold. We're gonna bounce around some lures here a little bit. We're just gonna keep trying some things. I'd like to see if we can kind of get on a bite right away. Feel like we're here at a good time for that to happen. Finesse Jig. We'll get this Finesse Jig up a little shallow and just see if anyone's up there. Oh, there's something up there. That felt like a perch or a bluegill. Gonna make our way back over these docks here. Go over it with a Finesse Jig just to see if it has a different reaction towards. I still just feel like it's just a little too windy for there not to be a bunch of good sized fish up shallow eating right now. So we will commit to it a little bit here. But we are slowly making our way over to another little corner over here that has been very productive in the past as well with some giant fish. So a big goal is getting some smallies on this Finesse Jig. I don't think I've caught a smallie on a Finesse Jig yet. I think I had so much luck with like a tube that I never really gave it a chance. Okay. We've thrown the Finesse Jig around. We have thrown a swim bait around. We have thrown a tube around. I think what I want to do next is go back to the swim bait, because we're going to kind of fish this corner right here, which I have seen largemouth and smallmouth come out of. All right, check this out, you guys. This is the Depths 175, the Slide Swimmer 175 SS. It looks like a bass. It looks like a bass because, well, hate to break it to you guys, but bass, they'll eat anything. They'll especially eat bass, especially of this size. It's a freaking snack-sized bass right there. I'm out here for a while, so this is more of just a fun fishing thing. This isn't like, I'm not fishing this to practice fishing for smallmouth, but then again, I don't know. Maybe one would try eating this. That'd be crazy. So funny, I remember thinking in the wintertime, I was like, I bet every single one of these people at the dock has a boat. But there was no boats out because it was winter. And sure enough, boat. There's a lot of boats. I feel like there could be a giant living underneath one of these docks. And it's windy enough that maybe he's out doing a little searching for some breakfast. Some late breakfast, early lunch, a brunch, perhaps? Oh, follower. Not a very big one. And I think it might have been a trout. That's cool though. It's hard to see followers. It's a little rough out right now. It's my favorite part of throwing swim baits too, is seeing the followers. I've never really fished a swim bait in clear water. I think I've had a lot of luck fishing big swim baits with a lot of flash to them because I've been fishing in really stained water. So I think learning kind of like what they want is it's tricky. You got to be a little more exact with the presentation because they can come up so easily and just be like, nah. Nothing yet. Couple little bites. I was trying.
I caught like 15 in here on a jerkbait the other day.
Did you? Okay, I was throwing the jerkbait for like...
Nothing big.
Yeah.
But it was just fun.
Yeah.
Just get the skunk out of the boat.
Yeah. Where were you throwing it? Just right in here?
Right here. Yeah.
Interesting.
How you doing? We haven't been out together.
It's been a long time. Yeah. I don't even... I mean, we just ran into each other briefly at the last tournament, but dang, that's been a long time. Yeah, I've been good. Grinding away still.
I had to stop at Dick's on the way home because I ran out of these the Crush City freeloaders.
Yeah.
That's what I've been throwing on that jig head. Man, they're awesome.
Oh. Oh. What? What's happening?
Oh, he's on.
Is he?
He's running at you.
Whoa.
Yep.
Wait, what? What happened? That was weird.
I think it might have been running, like you had it and then it's... That was weird.
That was super weird.
I think you had a fish hooked for a second.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. That was strange. Whenever you get a bite on a freaking jerkbait and it doesn't somehow, like...
I love jerkbaits. They're coming up for bait right now, so jerkbait's perfect.
Yeah.
It'll cover the top water column and they'll come up off the bottom.
That's so funny. I was throwing this for so long before you got here. Nothing, and then all of a sudden, this little spot. Shop's a machine. I've been here for, I've been fishing for an hour and a half. He's been here for 10 minutes. He's raking them in. That's okay. I think I know what we need to be throwing. All right, guys. This is my deep water Ned rig. Those little tails float. And this is a little heavier of a weight. And this is on my brand new spinning rod that has not caught a fish yet. We just put some braid on there. We got 15-pound braid, 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. And I'm doing so because we're going to be fishing deep and we're fishing for some big fish. And we're going to be using a heavier weight. So that's what's going on. Excited to see how this works. I haven't fished a Ned rig in a long time. It's a medium rod. It's a Shimano Veritas combo. The Zada reel. All right, Joff said he's found a school of kokanee up here. I do have a specific bait I also want to try for fishing around with those. I just want to try throwing this. I got this really crazy spoon lure called a Counterback. It weighs like 1.25 ounces. I'm just gonna do a yo-yo pattern. Yo-yo the lure. Definitely gonna wish that I brought freaking rain gear, that's for sure. How fast does this thing sink? Whoa, that's so much flash. That's so sick. Alright, got a bit of a drop off we're looking at right in front of us here. Let's see if we can let this giant 1-ounce spoon flutter all the way down to a big ol' smallmouth. Probably take a very long time for this thing to get down to the bottom, but... Alright guys, we're gonna try this little Huddleston. I gotta know if we can catch a smallmouth on this thing. Seems like a lot for it to get in its mouth, because that top hook seems kind of tricky. Fall rate is pretty slow. It'll do 12 feet in 10 seconds. That's what the rate of fall of 12 means. But yeah, so I'm planning on fishing my confidence lures when I get to Dvorak. I think it's going to be some really difficult fishing, but I have a feeling that I really want to try throwing some of these 6-inch Huddlestons, just because there's some famously giant Smallies in this at Dvorak. You know, if I catch a 23.5, there's a good chance it'll be on like a little Huddleston swim bait, fishing down at like 45-50 feet on some drop off. And I feel like I could fish one of these down at that depth easily enough. Just drag it slowly on the bottom, kind of like a jig. And that's all I'm doing right now. The number one thing I could hope to have happened from today would be to catch a 6-inch or a Smallie on the 6-inch. That would just be so awesome. A blade bait is another massive lure for fishing for smallmouth. Just a little too windy to even bother throwing that jerk bait around, so we're gonna try this nice gold blade bait. All right, pushed out to a drop off here. Let's chuck the blade bait off here. Let's see if we can get on a fish. How long we've been fishing for? 3 hours and no fish. That's crazy. That's not good. Alright guys, I really want to catch a fish with this thing. So, we're going to make a move, head over to a spot where I think it's going to be possible. Alright, well, we threw that a good number of times. We can't waste the entire day throwing it. I think it's time to catch a fish, you guys. So let's resort to our number one fish catching lure. And let's just see about getting a few fish in the boat, shall we? If we can't catch something on a tube, what can you do? We'll give it a go, though. I think we can turn this around real quick. Kind of thinking about going up a little more shallow, too. It's in my most experience that wind puts them up shallow. Well, I guess that counts. We haven't skunked. But that's the smallest freaking smallmouth ever. Jesus, what a tiny little one. Whoop. I'll take it though. We got a fish. Fish on the board. It wasn't a measurable fish, so we still don't have anything for our little tournament we're doing, but we're on them now.
Down by the head, Shake. Double up?
Yep. Looks like about the same size, too. I think yours might be bigger.
Don't know where the bigger fish are.
Tell us. Where are they? Swim to them.
Where's Mom?
All right. 6 hours, you guys. Just a couple dinks. Shop got a couple decent ones, but for the most part, nothing worth noting so far. Starting to throw the tube a little bit more now. Seems like it's the thing I've gotten my my bites on. I added a slightly heavier weighted hook to it. I'm hoping that helps a little bit, just because it's been so windy. I'm going to keep throwing the tube. It's nice to be able to feel what's going on down there. Trying up shallower again. I just feel like I'm lost. confused. Where are these bass at? Now we're talking. That feels like a real fish. That's because it is. Heck yeah, it is. Don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. Yeah, we got a good fish on, guys. It's a largemouth. Not a huge fish by any means. I overspoke, but I mean, in comparison to the fish that we have not been catching, this is a good sized fish. Calm down, bud. First fish on the board, 17 inches. Got a largie.
Oh, nice.
All right. That's what we needed. I guess I'm supposed to be practicing catching smallies, but listen, I just need some fish, okay? I need them. I feel like I should bust out that finesse jig. I'm trying something crazy with this freaking finesse jig again. I'm always doing something crazy with this poor finesse jig. Oh boy, there's no way. That's to come out right after that. That's literally gonna be impossible. Actually, that's really sick. I hope this works. Where'd Joff go? Where'd you go? Oh, you're way down there. All right, this is my new finesse jig. It's got some wiggly tails, and those float. Those are gonna float straight up. It's honestly kind of sick. I'd love to catch a smallmouth on the finesse jig just because I have not done it yet. I know there's no reason why not. Got one. Nice. On the finesse jig. Are you a smallie or a largie? A largie. Nice. Barely in you. Good job, bud. We gotta get a measurement on you. Only because we got 17 inches for the first fish. And what do we got for the second fish, you guys? 13 and a quarter. 17 and 13 and a quarter. Finesse jig next to docks, you guys. All right, well, we don't have like a tournament winning score or anything, but we got 2 fish on the board, scoreable fish. Already we're doing better than I did in the last tournament. I bet that there's a fish under every dock. That's just been a fact of life. Oh, it's a big one. It's a good one. At least I think it is. It felt like a big one at first, okay? I still don't know. I think it's a small one. This thing's fighting hard. Must be a smallie. There's some serious head shakes. This might be a big fish. Oh my god. This might be a freaking huge fish. Oh my God, what's happening? Don't lose it. Oh my God. Got one of the right ones. On the Finesse Jig. By the dock. This is a huge fish. All right, bud. Back in the water you go.
Doing too well or what?
No, not doing well at all. Oh, wait, maybe. She needs a minute though. Right on the dock, right on the dock. Finesse Jig. I think it's just like so post-spawn, it's like, just looks so weak. That was a crazy fight.
Was it?
The head shakes were wild.
Looks like a nice one.
Nah, 19. Just shy. 18. Whoa. All right, guys, there we go. Biggest fish of the day. This thing is jacked up. Whoa.
Ready to go now.
Ready to go now. Nice, we got a good one. I can't believe it. Fishing in the wrong spot all day. I thought we were gonna have a coal for the tournament, but we did not. Still, that was a huge fish. Such a deathly post-spawn fish. All right, let's add that to the scoreboard. We're at 49 inches total. Dang, that was crazy. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know I had a big fish for a while, and then those crazy head shakes happened, and I was like, wait a second. This is a big fish. Hadn't seen a big fish in a while, so I was like, it's a giant. Whew. Alrighty, guys. That was something. We were out there battling the wind for close to 9 hours. That kicked my butt. I'm freaking dead. Pulling up to the launch now. We're gonna call it. Got on a few fish. Learned a few things. Some things that I wanted to test out today just did not work. I think the wind was just weird. The fishing was weird. The fish themselves that we caught, they seemed weird. They seemed like weak and beat up from being post-spawn. Strange day of fishing. Really, quite a challenge. But you know, we each got a couple good ones. Joffrey got a 20-inch. I got a 18.75. Those are some solid fish we got, and can't complain with that. But yeah, guys, in a couple days, just wait, what is it? What day is today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, in less than a week now, I'm going to depart out to Dvorak in Idaho and compete in a 2-day tournament. And I think there's pretty much, for the most part, only smallmouth out in that lake. And that's what everyone's going to be fishing for. And some of the biggest ones in the state have been close to 10 pounds, 23.5 inches. That's crazy. That's insane. The fish that Joff just got was a 20-inch. I just haven't seen a fish that big in a really long time. I couldn't imagine 3.5 more inches to that. That'd be just insane. We're just about here at the launch, guys. I'm gonna pack it up, call it a day. Thanks so much for watching. See you on the next one.